What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JR Wisdom channel. This evening, I'm going to be talking about the apostle, the disciple, the apostle, Judas Iscariot. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because all the other apostles are saints. Even Paul is a saint. So I'm wondering, why isn't Judas a saint? Okay. Which it boggles my mind. Obviously, we know what the obvious thing is the fact that he betrayed Jesus. But the qualifications, obviously, with the Catholic Church, in order to be a saint, you have to have two miracles post mortem. Whatever that means. Or you have to have lived an exemplary life of goodness, virtue, and truth. So, as we know, even people who have come and gone after, Mother Teresa, other people, they've become or have been deemed saints, just like popes as well. And these people aren't perfect, and they definitely aren't beyond reproach. So, my thing is, with Judas, if it wasn't for Judas, what is the story of Jesus and his crucifixion as far as him dying for people's sins, so to speak, without Judas? And an all-powerful God, an all-knowing God allowing this to happen and setting these things in place for it to happen. So what we know about Judas, first of all, is Judas was one of the 12. Not too much is known about his origins other than him being from Kerioth, or which is, I guess, with the Greek going back to Hebrew, Kerioth is in the city of Judah, and him being with his name Judas, being from Judah, he's the son of Simon, and with the son of Simon, there's not too much more that's known about him, and how with him obviously being picked by Jesus, there had to be some good in him, and Jesus saw some good in him, unless he's just saying, I'm just going to pick this guy, and he's going to be the one ultimately knowing he's going to be the one that's going to betray me. So you have to know, he would have to know beforehand what's actually going to happen. Now, the thing about Judas, which translates in Hebrew, is praised. Judas, Judah, is praised. So this man who has this name of being praised, and Jesus knowing the future, knowing the beginning and end, he has to know what's going to take place. Now, Judas, as we know, he was a zealot, and partially, well, not partially, but the main focus of why he betrayed Jesus was he felt that Jesus should have overthrown the Romans and the Roman occupation. And that's where, part of the contempt came about, because he felt that Jesus wasn't doing such. So that's allegedly the reason why he went to the Pharisees and he went to the high priests. They didn't come to him, he went to them, saying, what would you give me to hand this man over, being that they were looking for this man because he was disrupting the church, so to speak, and disrupting all these other people by preaching this supposed radical doctrine or calling them out on their bull. So we go to the point of the Last Supper, which is even more, controversial. Being Judas is sitting here at the Last Supper, and Jesus is giving his last words, and he's giving prophecy, so to speak, of what's to come. And he prophesied at that point about, dipping the bread into oil, and whoever he gives it to is going to betray him. So he gives it to Judas, and everybody's just in awe. And supposedly at this point, Judas was taken over or possessed by Satan, which makes it even more. You have an exorcist, which is Jesus, who was an exorcist at this point, to allow the devil to take over, or allow Satan to take over in his presence at this, holy sanctified meal that they were having. So he tells him to go ahead and, do what you have to do, and do it quickly. So Judas notifies the high priest, and he notifies them of where their location is going to be in the Garden of Gethsemane at that point. So Jesus is captured. Once, obviously, whether Satan is still possessing him at this point or what, Judas comes to his senses, or he feels remorse, and he attempts to give the money back to the high priest, and throws it at them. And then, I guess, in order for him to redeem himself, or expiate his sins, he hangs himself. Now, the thing about this is, with him hanging himself, we don't know what Judas said before he died, or if he prayed to God before he died, or asked for forgiveness before he died. Maybe he felt that was the only way for redemption, is to give his life. So he did this in order to, I guess, so to speak, make things right. Even though this was already planned before he was even born. This whole situation was already planned. Jesus knew what was going to happen. And in order for Jesus to make it to the cross, at which point he would die for the sins of mankind, he had to have that catalyst in this individual, which was Judas. So, all in all, he was part of the plan of greatness. So why wouldn't that make him the greatest disciple? Why wouldn't he be a saint just because of this one action that he did, this one act of betrayal that he did towards Jesus? Like I said, none of the disciples were perfect. Many of them have sinned as well. But for a man that contributed so much, and him and traitor and betrayal are synonymous. So the Gospels are so focused on painting him as one who betrayed Jesus. They never really focus on his past or his good deeds or what he has done, and we don't really know. So as far as the sainthood goes, strictly because of his betrayal, he's not eligible for it. So he just goes down. He's an apostle. He's a disciple, but he's not a saint. So I just food for thought. I like to hear y'all thoughts on it. If you feel like elaborating. If not, that's cool too. So like, share, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, check it out. Check me out on social media. Make sure y'all click the bell to subscribe. That way you get the notifications for all the videos I post up. And toss a couple coins in the well of wisdom. And remember, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. I'll catch y'all on the next video. All right. Peace.